Their whole philosophy is about banning rather than harm reduction. So, as you said, in 1971, there were 1,000 heroin addicts in Britain, mostly in London, getting prescribed heroin. So the Americans said, you've got to stop prescribing. It contravenes the UN conventions. So we stopped because all our drug laws have been made at their behest. And in 20 years, we went from 1,000 addicts to 200,000 addicts. Why? Because every addict has to generate 25 new addicts to buy enough heroin from them to pay for their own habit.
Right. So when it was prescribed and it was virtually free, there wasn't the crime attached to it, so therefore there wasn't the issue and there wasn't the explosion of addicts. I mean,
and worse than that,
people will say that's a very oversimplistic way of looking at the explosion of the use of heroin and other drugs. But I am, if you go back even earlier than that, and if you go back to the 50s, there was something like 300 heroin addicts that were actually of note in this country.
That's right.
Where we are now, if you look at prisons, I think 50% of all people in prison are either doing time because of drugs or being associated.
That's right. The doubling of our prison population in the last 40 years is all driven by drug crime, supposed drug crime. And you look at Portugal, which has actually emptied its prisons because it's decriminalized drug use and treats it as a medical problem. I mean, but all decisions that have been made in this country for the last 50 years.
Are they all financial?
They're all political. They're not financial. No. The most expensive way of dealing with drugs is to put people in prison.
Absolutely. It's £40,000. Look at every prisoner in the UK is 40 grand on your tax every year.
Absolutely. And then there's all the testing equipment for their drugs. No, it's the most expensive way. It's the most irrational way. We do it because we just like to punish people.